Hello and welcome. Today, we have several interesting stories for your viewing pleasure, including one about a lady who catches her husband in bed with her mother. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. First story. I asked 3 women to be my bridesmaids with a small gift. I asked each woman privately at their homes while visiting, so it could be a heartfelt personal moment between us alone. One bridesmaid I'll call I is a kind-hearted woman I've known for more than half my life, who's been with me through some serious ups and downs, including the death of a child. I have known I wanted her to be part of my wedding party for many years. She even offered to host in her backyard when I was brainstorming budget venues. I doesn't have many close friends, but I'm not her only friend, and she's significantly older than I am, so she's talked to me about plenty of weddings she's attended before. I just assumed that she'd been a bridesmaid before since she has long-term childhood friends who are married. She's even talked about helping with setup for weddings, hence my assumption. But when I asked her to be my bridesmaid, she burst into tears and said, "You're so sweet. You don't have to make me your bridesmaid though." Confused, I asked, "Why wouldn't I want you to be my bridesmaid?" And she said, "I've never been pretty enough to be a bridesmaid." I was flabbergasted. Apparently all her other friends asked for her help, both labor and money. But never allowed her to be in photos because she's overweight. Like straight up shooed her out of photos. I can't even imagine doing something like that to a person who's given so much of herself for me over the years. Who gives a crap what she looks like? I reassured her repeatedly that she is pretty and I don't care about her weight. I care about her heart, and she's done more than enough to deserve a place beside me at my wedding, whether or not she hosts it in her backyard. But I feel sad and infuriated that what was supposed to be a moment of joy and excitement between us was dampened by a lifetime of others ruining her self-esteem. I feel like I'm going to lunge at her childhood friends next time I see them because I'm so pissed to find out how they treated her. She deserves better friends. My reply. Oh, my God. What sort of friends would even think to do that to someone they referred to as a friend? I think it's important for us as people to know our worth and not let people look down on us or treat us like we are not worth it. I'm glad she has a friend like you, original poster. You are an amazing human being for not looking down on this amazing lady. It's sad that someone can have all their amazing qualities and people don't care because of some nonsensical aesthetic. It's almost as if people value aesthetic over true meaningful relationships. The top replies. I'm so jealous when I see brides being so considerate when asking bridesmaids. Was a bridesmaid for a sorority sister who was my closest friend at the time. She told me her husband wanted to add an 8th groomsman and he was tall, so she needed a tall bridesmaid to match. Not that she wanted me as a person, she just wanted a tall person to balance the photos. Second reply. What the F is wrong with people? I'm not married, but if I ever get married I want to look at the photos and see all the people I care about on it having fun and being there with me on one of the happiest days of my life. Like YTF does appearance matter? It has absolutely nothing to do with what the person means to you. Do people just want to have pretty pictures on their walls to impress others or what? Says a lot about how ugly they are on the inside. One has to compensate somehow, right? The second story. For a quick and terrible backstory, my son's dad and I had been together for 4 years on and off. When we started dating, he was the most loving and caring guy you could ever find. He showered me with attention and gifts all the time. He paid attention to all my needs and was always there for me. You can tell now why I fell in love with him. As time progressed, his attitude began to change. He would tease me about little things and big things. He would talk about how I had gained weight while having our baby. He would tease me about my flammable stomach. I always made sure he knew I was working on my body and didn't appreciate him talking about my body in such hurtful manner. He would apologize while smiling like he didn't just hurt and try to daylight me. During this time he always joked about finding my mom attractive, and had even sent a few drunken messages to her which caused one of the off times during our relationship when he didn't delete them fast enough before she, or I, could read them. That in and of itself is pretty terrible, but I stupidly gave him one last chance. During which he literally catfished my mother and created this sexual relationship type thing between her and his fictional person. Now that was the last straw, and I permanently ended things, something I know I should have done sooner. He didn't move out because we do have a son together, and things are obviously complicated. My mom didn't want anyone else to know about him doing that to her, so no one else but us three knows what happened. We've been trying to appear normal for the baby and to not make things weird with the rest of my family. Anyway, fast forward a couple of weeks to yesterday. We had some family over for dinner, my mom included. It was mostly so my nephews and son could spend time together. My mom wanted to have some drinks, which I was okay with since it was a Saturday night and honestly didn't think anything of it. Well, my mom and my son's dad ended up being the two who drank the most. I didn't want my mom driving home drunk, and she was the only one left by 8 or 9 p.m., so I told her to stay in the guest bedroom. Son's dad and I share a bed since it's a king and the baby shares a room with us. Well, come midnight after we've all been in bed for a while, he tries to cuddle with me but calls me by my mom's name. I pushed him away, but then he got up. I figured it was to use the bathroom, and at first it was, but then I heard an extra door close. I waited a while thinking maybe it was our bedroom door or something else, but he didn't come to bed, so I got up to check. I noticed the door to the guest room was closed, which was weird because my mom doesn't sleep with the door closed. When I opened the door, my mom and him are in bed together, about to do it. I get they were drunk, but I honestly can't believe what I saw. I feel so betrayed by both of them because I thought if he did try anything, she'd at least turn him away, but the only reason they didn't go further was because I stopped them. According to him, she touched him earlier in the night while I was in the same room but just had my back turned. I haven't talked to my mom and frankly I don't want to. She left before I woke up this morning. And I told him he had to find a new place to stay because I don't want him anywhere near me. What does someone do after something like this? Like, how do I face my mom? We were so close and had such a good relationship, but I don't know if I could forgive this. I could care less about my son's dad at this point. I honestly hope he moves back to his home out of state. But this stuff is like what happens in movies or something. I'm just so lost. I have no friends to tell any of this to, so I'm sorry if it's wordy and long. I just don't know how to move on from this. My opinion. Original poster. I think you are very lucky to know this at this point in time in your life. Your son's dad has disrespected you for years by making jokes about your mom being sexy. Who does that? The audacity for them to try that nonsense when you are around is sad and appalling. You need to take your son and get away from that awful man and completely block your mom from ever seeing you again.
Block all contacts to your mom and if you can, inform as many close family members about this abomination your mom and partner have committed.
They will know what to do, and if anything happens to you, they will know who did it. I suspect your mom and partner will try to harm you to cover up their wickedness. Please, stay safe and protect yourself and your son. He needs you now more than ever before. He can't afford to lose you for the indiscretions of two wicked people. The third story. My 21F boyfriend, 24M, is weird. I'm 21F in nurse school, and I've been with my 24M boyfriend for about 1 year and a half. At first, everything was normal. I guess, we went on dates.
I met his friends and he met my friends. After about 6 months in our relationship I met his parents and he met mine's.
Everything was going smoothly. We have a few arguments like every couple, but nothing really deep.
But now I see many red flags that I didn't pay attention at the beginning.
For example, as I said earlier, I currently in nurse school, but my boyfriend wants me to be an housewife. He always say things like, "Your diploma will not be useful to you since you will be an housewife. But becoming a nurse is my dream job and I surely don't want to stay at home." At first, I thought it was some kind of joke, but now I'm starting to think he's dead serious. Lately he has been talking a lot about his dream to become a father, and I do want children but not before I start working, and I say that he pout and don't talk to me and then come like nothing happened. I love him with all my heart, but this situation confuses me. I would like some advice, and feel free to ask me questions for more information. The top replies. He has been telling you, for your whole relationship, that he expects you to be a stay-at-home mom.
Even when he's encouraged your passions, he's made it clear that they're just that, passions.
He doesn't mind you getting the degree that you want to get, but he's explicitly told you that it will be useless to you because he expects you to be a stay-at-home mom.
It was never a joke, and never will be.
You need to sit down with him and have a serious discussion so you can set your boundaries. If we ever had kids, I will not be a stay-at-home mom. I would arrange for childcare during the day while I work. If it's expensive, I will work longer hours to make sure we can pay for it. If you're not okay with that, we need to rethink if we're compatible in the long term. If he gets angry, argues, or tries to tell you that you're wrong for feeling that way, then leave. Don't be forced into a situation you can't escape.